Hello Moto GP fans, welcome back to ZNGP today. Marc Marquez delivered a masterclass at MotorLand Aragón, taking sprint victory after a measured and tactical ride. Pole position, an intelligent tire gamble, and late race finesse allowed him to outpace his brother Álex in an all-Márquez showdown. Post-race, Marc offered insights into his tire choice, the early scare at the start, and a subtle reply to Dani Pedrosa's comments on tire selection. In a battle that saw him finish second behind his brother Marc in today's Aragón Sprint, Gresini Racing's Marc Márquez reflected on his performance, the realities of racing against his sibling, and a nod to Ducati's approach in a crucial weekend. Here's how the younger Márquez managed his expectations while handling pressure from both Marc and emerging talents like Fermín Aldeguer. At MotorLand Aragón, Marc Márquez delivered yet another masterclass, overcoming a shaky start and a physical on-track clash with Pedro Acosta to claim victory in the sprint race. Behind him, brother Marc Márquez and rising star Fermín Aldeguer rounded out an all-Spanish podium. But the headlines didn't just come from the results. Contact with KTM's Acosta in turn 1 added spice to an already electric afternoon. It was a tough Saturday at Aragon for 2021 world champion Fabio Quartararo, who finished 11th in the sprint race after fighting a bike he branded unrideable. The Yamaha rider continues to push through an uphill 2025 season, but once again found himself battling more with the M1 than his rivals. A sudden rear chatter issue, paired with a high-risk tire choice, derailed his day, but a step forward in electronics may offer hope for Sunday's Grand Prix. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marquez's decision to run a medium front soft rear tire combo raised eyebrows, even within his own team. But the 8-time world champion explained he had anticipated how the race would unfold and banked on everyone following suit. Even the team was surprised, but I was clear about my strategy. If I had chosen the medium, others would go soft and try to surprise. With everyone on softs, I knew I was stronger. Marquez's statement. The gamble paid off. Despite higher tire wear risk, the Ducati rider controlled the pace and avoided early race chaos. The race didn't start smoothly for Marquez. He admitted slipping at launch and briefly falling behind his brother Álex, who led the early stages. I usually get off the line well, but I slipped from the rear. It's harder to manage, especially in Aragon. Still, I caught back up by staying calm and waiting for the tires to fade. Rather than attack immediately, Marquez stayed patient, letting his pace build as the grip levels dropped, playing into his hands. Heat in the front tire forced Marquez into a conservative approach in the opening laps, resisting the urge to attack early. The front got hot fast, so I waited to overtake Álex. Once the tires dropped off, I felt more comfortable and settled into a rhythm of 147s without forcing. It was a performance that balanced speed and precision, critical at a flowing track like Aragon. Despite concerns, the soft rear tire held up impressively across the 11-lap sprint. Marquez expected a bigger drop-off, especially on the right side, but his smooth style paid off. I expected more drop, especially on the right. But I rode clean, didn't overdo it, and did another 1 foot 47 inches on the last lap without really trying. Letting the bike flow here is key. His effortless pace in the final laps showcased confidence, setup, and strategic maturity. Looking to Sunday's main race, Marquez isn't just optimistic, he's calculated. He acknowledges the variables that can disrupt any plan and vows to manage the race carefully. On paper, we're aiming for the win. But as I've learned, anything can happen. I have to control certain race points to get the maximum. The Cervera native, now sprint winner and poleman, remains grounded and focused heading into the GP. Marc Márquez may have taken a risk with tires, but it was a calculated one, backed by experience, circuit mastery, and confidence. With sprint success locked in, his sights are now on Sunday's Grand Prix, where victory could extend his championship lead and reinforce his title credentials in 2025. While Álex initially took the lead, a slow start from Marc set the stage for an intense chase. But Álex, ever strategic, made sure to minimize risks and focus on securing a strong second-place finish. When I saw Marc struggle off the line, I thought, maybe he's buried in the pack. I pushed early to build a gap, but I stayed calm when he passed me. With the pace he had, it was better to manage the situation and avoid mistakes, especially since the gap to the leaders was significant. Álex statement. Alex's mature approach underlined his mindset. When racing against the best, it's not always about winning but about minimizing losses. With Marc having shown his typical prowess at one of his favorite tracks, Álex focused on surviving rather than competing head-to-head. His realistic outlook sees him preparing for a high-stakes tomorrow. The goal today was to minimize the damage. Marc's been faster all weekend, so trying to challenge him directly wasn't the smartest choice. Tomorrow's race could offer new opportunities, but I'll keep my focus on taking what I can, managing the gaps, and staying in contention. While Marc was the immediate threat, Álex also highlighted the impressive progress of rookie Fermín Aldeguer, who impressed with his maturity and consistency. I'm not surprised by Aldeguer's performances. What surprises me are the people who criticized him earlier. He's got talent, a good head on his shoulders, and after some mistakes, he's learned how to finish races and grow stronger. He's making smart moves, and we'll see more from him. Alex's praise came after Aldeguer finished third in today's sprint, showcasing his potential despite the challenges of his rookie season. Reflecting on a lighthearted moment, Álex had a laugh at Ducati's expense, warning them not to pay too much attention to Marc's setup choices. He was quick to remind them that, given the right bike, Marc could extract performance from anything. When they were worried about Marc's bike setup, I told them, don't listen to him. If you give him a bike, he'll go fast. He's a special case. We all know he can adapt and perform under any conditions. But I think that approach is about understanding the bike's strengths, not getting caught up in the Marc effect. Alex's playful comment added a humorous touch to the serious business of track performance. With the championship battle heating up, Álex is fully aware of the broader picture. But he remains grounded, recognizing the challenges of racing against a legend while also eyeing opportunities to collect crucial points. Right now, we're in a good position, but we can't take anything for granted. We need to keep scoring points and taking things one race at a time. If we can stay consistent, there's still hope, but I know racing against Marc will be difficult. We'll have to stay focused on our own race. Álex Márquez's thoughtful approach to racing against his brother, combined with his growing respect for young talents like Aldeguer, sets the stage for a thrilling weekend ahead. With a second-place finish in today's sprint and a level-headed outlook on tomorrow's Grand Prix, Álex is proving that patience and smart tactics are key to staying in the hunt for bigger goals. The sprint's drama started immediately when Marc's rear tire spun at launch, causing him to lose momentum and 2 positions. As he approached turn 1, Pedro Acosta went for a daring move on the inside, but the result was a shoulder-to-shoulder collision that nearly upset Marc's rhythm. I had a small issue at the start, rear wheel spin. Then at turn 1, Acosta came in hot and we touched shoulders. The bike wobbled, but I managed to keep control. It wasn't ideal, but I knew how to handle it, Marquez said. The 2 riders avoided disaster and continued racing, but it was a reminder that even among compatriots, no inch is given at this level. After slipping to third, Marc wasted no time. First he dispatched Franco Morbidelli, then stalked his brother Álex Márquez. Despite Álex pushing hard early, Marc's tire management and pace on the soft rear proved decisive. Álex was really pushing in the first few laps, which was my weak spot with the soft tire. I stayed patient. As the race wore on, I felt great and took the lead. From then on, it was about keeping the rhythm and not overdoing it. Marc's victory underlined not just his pace, but also his composure amid early adversity. Marc Márquez, despite briefly leading the race, knew his brother had superior pace at Aragon. Once Marc closed in, Álex made the calculated decision to avoid a direct fight. "I saw Marc was right behind me after just one lap. I thought maybe I could create a gap, but it wasn't possible. When he passed me, I focused on managing the rest of the race without mistakes. We now have great data for tomorrow." Alex's mature performance secured valuable points while keeping him in contention for Sunday's full-distance race. Aldeguer continues to prove he belongs at the top level. The speed-up rider took a gamble on the medium tire, one that ultimately landed him on the podium after battling through traffic. "We had nothing to lose. We chose the medium rear to learn for tomorrow. At first, I was in the pack fighting, but little by little I climbed up. I'm thrilled to do this in front of the Spanish fans." Aldeguer's statement. With today's sprint behind them, the focus shifts to Sunday's main event. Marquez looks nearly unbeatable at Aragon, but the challenge from Álex and Aldeguer remains real, especially with rising heat, tire strategies, and turn 1 still looming. "We'll see if we can keep the same pace tomorrow. The bike felt great today, especially later in the race. If we can manage that again, we'll fight for another win," Marc added. From turn 1 fireworks to a controlled run to the flag, Marc Márquez showed why MotorLand Aragón is his territory. But with a full-length Grand Prix still to come, Marc Márquez and Fermín Aldeguer will be ready to strike if there's any slip. One thing's certain, the Spanish trio is delivering drama, dominance, and a lot of heart in front of their home crowd. Quartararo's sprint challenge got off to a promising start, qualifying 9th and holding position inside the points early on. But things began unraveling by lap 3. A severe case of rear chatter left him unable to push, with the issue worsening every lap. "I had a lot of chatter from the rear from lap 3. Every lap it was worse and worse. To be honest, I don't understand how I made 1 minute and 47.9 seconds in the last lap because the bike was unrideable." Fabio Quartararo's statement. A near miss with Maverick Vinales late in the race cost him additional time, dropping him to P11. But the core issue was the unpredictable behavior of the soft rear tire, one Quartararo had little confidence in even before lights out. Friday was arguably even more brutal for Quartararo, who described the bike as dangerous to ride. Rear traction was nearly non-existent, and the team quickly fell behind in setup. One key gain? Electronics. Quartararo explained that subtle adjustments in throttle delivery and settings made a huge difference in how he could ride the M1, particularly in his adapted riding style for 2025. "It was difficult not to improve. Yesterday the bike was dangerous. But today it was much better. We're working in a good direction. This year I feel how important electronics are. I never expected to have that much gain by the electronics." Despite earlier doubts, Quartararo opted for the soft rear tire in the sprint, not because he expected performance, but to gather crucial data for Sunday. The choice backfired with chatter, but it offered clarity moving forward. "I was expecting less feeling on the bike during the sprint, so I think tomorrow with the medium rear can be a good one." With the chatter issue tied to the soft compound, Quartararo is cautiously optimistic that a switch to the medium tire will stabilize his performance. He's not chasing the podium at Aragon, but he's aiming for consistency and points. "Realistically, tomorrow we can finish between 7th and 10th. Of course I want better, but we clearly don't have the pace to fight for the podium. Between 7th and 10th, we can be happy." Fabio Quartararo may be a former world champion, but 2025 continues to test his resolve more than ever. Saturday's sprint exposed Yamaha's ongoing struggles, but also hinted at improvements. With better electronics and a switch to the medium rear tire, Quartararo will be hoping Sunday's Grand Prix brings stability, and maybe a step closer to the front. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!